In a follow-up to one of the first videos I did since I went solo on this channel, we have some more news about John Wick. Now, yes, we already reported that John Wick 5 had been announced, and Keanu Reeves was not necessarily going to be involved in it whatsoever. But now we have more news, so let's go straight into it. By the way, hit that sub button. Now, explicitly, what we're talking about is not only do we have the announcement, but we have more information about those side projects that were hinted at, but now we have names for them. We knew about Ballerina. We knew that was coming out with Ana de Armas, ooh la la, but now we have some more, actually featuring Donnie Yen. Let's go straight into this article, and before we say we told you so. And what I mean by when I said I told you so, based on the last video that I did, what I ended up saying was that I think Keanu Reeves will come back for the right money, or if he was just bored. Well, he didn't necessarily want to do it, but I guess the price was right. Or maybe it's just the fact they're bringing in Donnie Yen, yes, the Donnie Yen, to do one of the side projects for it, and he wants to be a part of that as well. Keanu Reeves is set for John Wick 5 as franchise expands with animated prequel film. Donnie Yen directed Kane spinoff. So obviously we know Kane from the trilogy. Well, it's not a trilogy, it's a quadrilogy, but we know him as a cemented and rooted character in the John Wick universe. Get ready for more John Wick. Why though? We don't want it. Well, okay, I can only speak for myself because I'm not Smeagol and don't have multiple personalities. I don't want it. I don't care. But like I said in the last video, because they have become so profitable, of course, they're going to vampire suck the blood out of the neck of this franchise until it's completely dead. Attaching big names nowadays doesn't necessarily mean anything anymore. John Wick's story it's dead and it's over. There's nowhere to go with it. And Keanu Reeves himself, even though he's coming back, is too old to like even go back to flashbacks. And if they try to pull that, what was it called, Millennial Man or whatever Will Smith did, where they tried to de-age him by like 30 years, it just doesn't work. The technology is not there. No one's going to believe it. But Keanu Reeves is returning for it as the nunchuck-wielding hitman Lionsgate announced at CinemaCon on Tuesday morning. Meanwhile, the action franchise is expanding with an animated prequel film, as well as a Kane-centric standalone. So we still don't know the name of the animated thing they're doing, but the Kane-centric standalone, which will be a film, it will be a full-length film. That's the one that Donnie Yen is in charge of. These projects are complementary to the upcoming, the ballerina thing that we talked about earlier. I won't even say that. D. Armas stopped by the annual convention for movie theater owners, which is currently unfolding in Las Vegas, to showcase an extended look at the movie. And in this sequence, a ballerina who is training to become an assassin kicks butt or ass. Can she just show ass? I would like that more. As she faces off against several adversaries in an abandoned bar. Hopefully there's some fucking backstory to this. Because I a lot of people like Atomic Blonde, but let's be real. Fighting multiple, even if they're just thugs and goons in high heels, just doesn't work. It doesn't even look cool. Like, you try to make it look sleek, it almost makes it look like an anime or something like that you tried to make live action. But when you actually think about it, it's nothing more than dumb. And most of the time, it's not even dumb fun. Shooting one baddie in the face and smashing several plates against another. Oh, well, she knows her way around a kitchen. She's got plates handy. But there is a little bit of hope. Maybe I'm not really buying it, because whenever going into an interview about the choreography that she actually had to learn for this new film that's coming out for Bond, I only had 3 weeks of training. Ballerina was a whole nother level. Yes, I added that in there because I'm known to do that. And this is what she said at the Coliseum stage at Caesar's Palace. This is by far the most physical and challenging thing I've ever done. One could disagree or agree. I don't know. It just depends on what kind of mood you're in. And Reeves will appear in Ballerina. Really? So he does have a cameo in that. Well, I guess that makes sense for the timeline. But he's returning to the screen for John Wick 5. My question is, where the hell are they taking the story in John Wick 5? Because even Keanu himself has said that, like, oh, no, the dude's dead. He had a full arc. He didn't have any interest in coming back. But, what story is there going to be? I don't think there's anything worthy of saying. You take away all the gravitas of everything that made John Wick such a success. If you just bring him back willy-nilly like this, This is just my own thoughts and opinions. I do they have anything to say? Actually, no, they don't. It's more just a hype piece. The project reunites him with franchise director and producer. Yeah, it reunites him. Plot details, additional cast members, and a production timeline haven't been revealed. We don't know anything that's coming about that. So it has to be where they signed on the dotted line for his paycheck that was direct deposited into his account. Probably so it can help some more disgruntled kids, which is a good thing. That's why we love Keanu. Well, it's not the only reason why we love Keanu Reeves, but that's the big reason why we love Keanu Reeves is because he gives back to the community. He's doing this just so he could basically give it away to other people. And as far as the audience goes, I'm sorry, I just have to stay hardlined on this. He's giving it back to a bunch of fucking retards. He gives it to disgruntled children. He gives it to people who have not, who are a little bit lesser than in life, not by their own doing. But I'm going to stop myself right there because the 5th chapter continues a series that began, and this is where they get into the money, which is what I was talking about from the beginning. 2014, when it first came out, it was $86 million globally. Became a sleeper hit once people started to see it. Word of mouth, which is what Hollywood doesn't have nowadays anymore. This is one of those films that became more and more profitable as time went on. Each film improved upon the last in terms of box office grosses. Chapter 2, 174.3 million just in the box office. 2019, John Wick Chapter 3 climbed to 328. And then Chapter 4, 440 million. But the thing is, that was the culmination of the saga. Now, yes, you will get a huge bump. Opening weekend is probably going to be dadgum massive. I'm not going to take anything away from that. Opening weekend, just because Keanu Reeves is there, the opening weekend will be massive. I think it will have a huge drop off because I don't think that anybody actually cares anymore. Because when nothing has gravitas, when nothing holds weight anymore, when people die and they are just resurrected for whatever reason, whether it be a flashback, whether it just be like some miracle of science, you lose the immersion. At least I do, but I can only talk to myself. Keanu, Chad, Basil, and Erica, and this is one thing that I did want to highlight, would not return unless they had something truly phenomenal and fresh to say with these characters and this world. Fogelson said, they haven't come out and talked about it themselves yet. So I think that's may be a little bit telling. Why were they not giving their statements? Why is someone else talking for them? And I'm just going to reiterate it. And I don't care if I'm just beating a dead horse because that's what they're doing with this franchise. It was always about the money. They threw a bunch of money at these people and they're just like, yeah, it was fun time. Keanu's got bad knees. How are we going to run that into the story? Well, let's look at Chris Nolan's Dark Knight Rises. How did bad knees work for Batman in that one? So basically that means he's going to be Bionic Wick at this point, and I am about to stop everything I'm doing because I have gone on way too long. We didn't even get to Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen, if you didn't know, he was the blind Jedi. Well, he's been in a lot of things. First of all, the Ip Man series, oh my gosh, the Ip Man series, especially 1, 2, and 3, so dadgum good. He is responsible for that. He was, if you watched Rogue One, he was the blind Jedi. And Kane, his character in John Wick, is also a blind assassin. I wonder if his eyesight is going, but he's just so dadgum good with mixed martial arts that like, oh no, I can make it work. I'm still better than all y'all. It would actually be interesting to see a Kane side piece. I'd be more interested in that than bringing Keanu Reeves back for a John Wick number 5. Whenever you get out of basically number 3, in my opinion, once you get past the trilogy, you're kind of sucking the teat dry. Like, I don't know. It's like you're still jelking, but there's no more semen in there. Nothing else is going to come out, but you're still just trying to milk that. You know what I mean? But what do you guys have to say about it? If you have anything to say, leave it down in the comment section below. This is Malty from Mouth of Malty. We love you guys. Appreciate everything that y'all do. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.